Welcome home, horror fans. My name's Adam.
And I'm Zoe, and we have finally got an update on Saw 11.
Yes, that's right. With an interview from Screen Rant, we have confirmation that one of the OG writers from the Saw franchise is back.
Marcus Dunstan, the co-writer of Saw 4 through to 7, is set to return to write or co-write Saw 11.
Yes, very exciting news. This is something that's been a bit of a rumour and a bit of a hope from us, of course. After the writers of Saw X were ditched a little while ago, we did assume that they were probably ditched for maybe a writer or two.
An upgrade.
That's right. That has a bit more experience with the franchise. And these two writers, or at least the one that's been confirmed so far, are two writers that are very seasoned from the Saw franchise. And we're both very excited because they, of course, are writers of especially one of our favourite characters.
Mark Hoffman.
Mark Hoffman.
Yeah.
The Mark Hoffman era of Saw, which I feel like we're about to return to in this franchise.
I think the return of Marcus Dunstan being announced is super exciting because it takes us back to old Saw. And I feel like that is exactly what we're going to have delivered to us in Saw 11. So I can't wait. I personally hope that they announce Patrick Melton down the track.
It's got to happen.
It does seem like that they worked fairly well together and they both know Saw probably better than anyone out there. So I'm very excited.
Yes, and it's been a long time since this writer has been part of the franchise. Of course, writing Saw 3D last, which maybe not the greatest movie, but he did write Saw 4, 5, and 6, which of course we loved, and very exciting. Like, how long has it been since Saw 3D?
2010.
2010?
Right?
It's a long time.
A long time, over 14 years ago now.
Long time.
So it is, of course, Saw 10 was fantastic. So to see that we are going to get another film that is going to be similar to Saw 4 to 7 is super exciting because personally I believe that some of the moments in Saw 4 to 7 are some of our favourite moments across the franchise, mostly because they're involving Mark Hoffman.
Mark Hoffman, of course. And having a writer that knows Mark Hoffman as well as he does is very exciting. We do have a quote from this interview from Screen Rant, which we will read for you now.
We're writing Saw 11 right now, and Kevin Gruder is returning to direct. That's been since December, and that's one where it's got something new to say, and it's angry.
Not a massive quote, but a very exciting quote. First of all, of course, this is the first time that he has been officially confirmed as writing the movie. And of course, he's saying here that the film itself is going to be an angry film with something new to say, which is also fun.
It's very interesting to, I suppose, guess what that could mean.
That's right.
And I think that we initially thought that maybe it was going to be Hoffman-centric and Hoffman being the angry person that he ends up being in Saw 7. Maybe he could have something to do with it. But then when you really start to dive into the timeline and realize that before Saw 2, Hoffman necessarily didn't want to be doing what he was doing. He was a bit reluctant. He seemed as if he was being forced, which he kind of was. I don't know if anger makes sense for his character in that timeline, but it could very well make sense for Amanda's character.
Exactly.
Amanda goes down a very interesting route in Saw 3, where it's revealed that she doesn't believe in anything that Jigsaw believes in, and she doesn't follow or necessarily believe in his ideologies. So I think it could be really interesting to explore why Amanda ends up where she is. I know she briefly mentioned it in Saw 10 where she believed that Cecilia deserved nothing and she was very strong in those feelings. So it'll be very interesting to see if they expand on her character
100%. And it's, as you can tell, the quote of the new movie Saw 11 being an angry one, in the words of the writer, has definitely set our brains fluster thinking about what does that mean? Even though it's a small quote, to say it's angry is really exciting to me because what it means to me is I think we're in for a brutal film, a no-holds-barred Saw movie. To call a Saw movie, which is already about brutal torture, let's be honest, an angry one, where I think we're in for some brutal traps here. And of course, we're trying to speculate about maybe why is it angry? Is it Amanda just being super angry? Is she in that part of her arc? Or is John just really pissed off? Does he find out Cecilia is still alive and back up to her old tricks?
I think a lot of characters are going to be angry. I think that John will be angry. I think Cecilia will be angry for what she was put through. There's a lot of anger that's been built upon from Saw 10,
Yeah.
which I think we'll see unfold. But some of the best characters and best moments come from very strong emotion and very angry moments. You've got Eric Matthews, who's quite hot-headed.
Yes, yeah.
Hoffman's at his best when he is just brutal and going on a rampage and just doing what needs to be done. Amanda has her big angry moment at the end of Saw 3. So I think it's really exciting to know that we are going to get those complex moments again.
Really exciting. I personally do like the idea that this is still going to be a Mark Hoffman-centric film, and I think that even though it's not necessarily perfect for his timeline to have him be an angry, like, real beast at this point, I would like to see a movie where he's just no holds barred, joining the fray.
I would love to see it, but I personally think that Saw 11 is going to be a lot about the dynamic between John, Amanda, and Hoffman, and I think that we're going to get to see a lot more of them interacting than we ever have on screen, and in turn, I think that it'll end really setting up Saw 12 for Hoffman's character, and of course, as we know, that where Saw 12 is heading, being the sequel to Saw 7, Hoffman is a very angry individual at this point.
Exactly.
So if we don't get angry Hoffman in Saw 11, we certainly will in Saw 12.
Yeah, I think as part of the setup for Saw 12, I think they're going to try and make Hoffman more angrier and kind of more beastly than ever, just so that when we do move to Saw 12, it still fits a bit better than it would normally.
Absolutely.
Very excited about that, especially. I'm excited about the three, of course, working together, and God, if they're all angry, then cool. I'm happy with that as well, either way. It's very hard. We'd love to know what you guys think about this quote, what an angrier movie and something new to say might mean in the words of the writer. It's all very exciting. You can tell that every little piece of news that we get, we're just absolutely excited to hear it, which is really, really cool. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
See you next time, guys.
Game over.